So today we're going to be playing around with Photopea a little bit more, using some tools that we haven't played around with, and just doing kind of like a little practice assignment. So I'm making a new project just so I have like a blank canvas to work with. So I'm going to make sure I'm in inches and I'm going to do 11 by 8 so that I have a little bit more of like a landscape format. There we go. So one thing that we haven't played around with as much are, messing with our fill layers. We haven't really done that. So if you go over here to layer and you go to new fill layer, you can change the color of your background. So you can just do a simple color background, or you could go to gradient, which I think is a little bit more interesting. Your default is just this gray, but if you hit your arrow down, you can switch it to something else. And you can play around with it a little bit, change the layout, just kind of adjust some of your sliders. And let's see. So if you click on the actual gradient, you can change it. So you can make them whatever colors you want by clicking on each box. And then you can flip out the colors. Why not, right? Make your own gradient. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Okay, I like that. All right, so here we go. I've got my own gradient. Okay, so that's something that's worth playing around with. Again, sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. You also can have opacities on for this. So like if I want my gradient to be kind of see-through, I could do that too. Like if I had like a photograph behind and I just want like a little bit of gradient over, that can be cool as well. So I think I'm going to eyeball off of this and just delete this layer. I don't really need it. All right, but what we're really focusing on today is using text. We've really been focusing on using photographs in Photopea, but there's lots of other things you can do too. So I'm going to use my type tool over here and make box. And I'm just going to type in a word. And I'm noticing that my text is below there we go. Got to move it on top so I can see it. And I'm going to make it nice and big so that we can actually see what changes I'm going to make here. Cool. All right. So any word, I just chose a word. Okay. So we're going to use the word light. And if you highlight it, you can change your word to any font that you want. So right now it's Deja Vu Sans. Probably need to reload Photopea because I'm getting a little slow here and probably too many tabs. Anyway, but here you go. You've got all these different fonts and you can see a preview of them. You choose whatever you want. Definitely some different fonts than we've had to work with before. It's always nice to check out what our options are. I'm going to do Distant Galaxy. So you can also, besides the font, you can change the color of the font. So make it any color you want. I'm just going to go with gray for now. Later on, when we're doing more text, you might want to think about like your alignment, like whether you're centering it or left, right, fleshing it. Some of the fonts you can like adjust a bit with this, just kind of depends on the font. One other thing that you can do is you can warp your font. So that changes the layout of it. So I can arc my font if I want, flag. And with each of these, you can, adjust the way that it looks a little bit to edit it. So just going to play around with some of those options. Again, like you don't always need or want those, but it's nice to know that you can when you do want them. Okay. So play around with that. That's kind of nice to be able to do. But when you start getting a little bit more advanced, there's some other things you can do as well. So you can actually use some of your photo editing tools to edit your text. If you go to do that, if you go to filter and let's say I want to create, maybe I want to fragment it. We'll just pick that. It is going to ask you to rasterize it. What that means is it's going to change it to a picture layer. So you want to make sure it's the size and all that you want before committing to that. But you can still do all of this cool stuff with it after the fact. So when you want to get really picky about making your text look a certain way, some of these filters are awesome. I'm going to delete that. Cool. Let's see. So even liquify is perfect. So in liquify, I can literally move the text. So if I wanted to emphasize a certain letter or make it look like a certain shape, I can really shape this to whatever I want. I can twirl it if I want. I can load it and drag it. So all kinds of different things. I can literally warp the text to just about any shape that I want. And again, I can use all of these different filters, which can be really cool. You can really create some neat stuff. Let's see. Let's do, a motion blur. That's cool. So I can make it look like it's moving, or I don't know. I just have so much fun with this stuff. Anyway, so that's the point. The point is that you can take your text and you can change the color and the font and all of that, but you can also warp it. You can maneuver it. You can add filters. You can even come to your image adjustments and you can use some of these on your text. So you can make just about anything that you want. So our mini assignment is you are going to use a word and then you are going to try to style your word with that meaning. So, for example, if I were to do the word shred, maybe I could make it look like the words were being shredded. I'll put a couple examples in for you to look at, but you're going to use Photopea and make me a background, whatever you want. And then you're going to focus on manipulating your letters and choosing a word and actually demonstrating that word through the letters using some of these tools here. So think about your font, think about your colors that you're using, think about, your warping tools, think about your filter tools, all of that, and be creative. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.